Guys, welcome to another episode of Never Park the Bus. We're here with Franco, we're here with Ashley Diamond, and we're here with Toby today. Special mentions to Diamond, turn up after a North London derby defeat. That takes
Big shout out to Diamond.
Yeah, that's big balls. That is a fair play to you, mate.
Fair play.
But listen, what I want to know from you boys is, when we look at the league, I find it mad that no one has yet lost their job. Premier League, and we're in December, and no one's lost their job as a manager, which is good, but it's mad. So who do we think is the first to get the chop? Tobes, I'll start with you.
So I would say, based on results, form, and also, unfortunately, what he did last year, it would have to be the man Wilder at Sheffield United. And I think I was saying to some boys earlier, unfortunately, his results from last year and having them where he had them for so long in the season, it's almost a stick they're going to beat him with, because 1 point after, 11 games they've played, 10 games? Yeah. So 1 out of a possible 30. And you don't really see how they're going to be able to turn it around under him, right? You've got the January window coming up. So if you had someone like a Big Sam, right? One of the things with Big Sam, reason why he was always lurking around December, is because he was known to be able to bring in players that will do a job for him. If Chris Wilder rings my phone, I'll be like, who's this? Right? So he's not going to be able to recruit anyone. They're not difficult to beat and they don't score goals. So I just, personally, I think even if Sheffield United are thinking about next year, they're probably going to end up saying, do you know what, come Jan, let's just chop him. He needs to get, I would say, 10 points out of the next possible, let's say 15, 18.
Yeah. Do you know what's the madness though? Sorry to butt in, it's a question for you as well. Like, they was hard to beat last season though, Sheffield United. They weren't easy. Yeah. They panded us. We got a panding. And they were hard to beat. I just don't understand. Like, they've bought well as well. Like, we and Brewster and a couple of them, man. Like, they've bought half decent. I'm surprised they have not won a game. It's madness.
But didn't they have that? Wasn't the whole thing with Sheffield United? They played like overlapping centre backs and blah blah blah. And then they were almost like a better Burnley, right? They were physical. They were tough to beat at their ground as well, with their fans behind them, who were just happy to be in the Prem.
Yeah.
They were going to give it to you now. Obviously with no fans or 2,000 fans or whatever it is, but I almost feel like 1 point from a possible 10 games, from 10 games played. I think you're already preparing for life in the Championship. So
slowly but surely he's taking things away from his desk every week.
Yeah, I think if the club are going to make a move to try and salvage their season and scrape and basically hook or by crook remain in the Prem, save themselves, I think the manager change is the obvious one, because you can't change a whole squad anymore, right? It's just not possible. Yeah, Wilder, unfortunately, mate, P45 is probably in the post.
Do you think, though, that a board would start looking now and going, okay, we're bottom of the Prem, don't see how we're getting out of this, stick with him to the end of the season, don't spend money in January and start planning for next year already financially? Because they know, how...
It's a good question. It's a good question. What I would say, do you know what surprises me, right? So, Chelsea have got Conor Gallagher at West Brom, Loftus-Cheek at Fulham, Lamptey was on... Lamptey we sold. But you can see that there are good young players who aren't able to, like Fikayo Tomori, for example. I know West Ham were in for him, but I think they were trying to buy him. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, if Sheffield United approached, for example, Man United, they've got a good relationship, obviously, with the Dean Henderson thing. Surely you would want to get a couple of youngsters on loan. So if you are basically guaranteed to go down, it's not going to cost you anything in terms of getting rid of them guys, transfer-wise or whatever it may be. I'm not sure Sheffield United have any sort of pull. I remember a player talking about, he's like, look, if my agent calls me and he's like, do you want to go and play for Sheffield, right, from Jan in a relegation scrap? No. Are you really taking that offer? It's not like Crystal Palace where you can play with Zaha and you're close to London. Whose missus is going to be like, yeah, let's go Sheffield, 50 grand a week when you can go play for Fulham for 35? I hear what you're saying, Jim. I think they're just going to get rid of him because he's been so bad.
Okay, fair. Franco. You agree with Tobes, or you got a different opinion?
I do agree with him. I do agree with him. But Slaven Bilic could go for West Brom, to be fair. And he's had a few problems there with West Brom, like arguing with the board and things like that. So he's a good shot. What's that?
He argues with everyone. He'd have an argument in a telephone box.
Yeah, he would, to be fair. He is like that. But then Arteta, just shocking, isn't it? It's madness. I mean, he won 2 trophies last year. He done well. But this year, it's shocking. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm going to be different. I'm going to go with either Slaven Bilic or Arteta.
Fair enough. I think West Brom,
that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to keep it sweet and simple. Let Ashley get on. He's the Arsenal man. I'd like to see what he says,
Franco,
to be
you've
fair.
got to pick one. Who are you picking?
I'm going to go with... I'm going with Arteta.
Ooh, big call.
Go with a big call. Keep it interesting.
I've got to let you respond to that, mate.
Arteta ain't going nowhere. Like, realistically, he ain't going nowhere. He's, they're still believing in the projects. He ain't going nowhere. So he definitely won't be the first to go. I think he'll get to the end of the season, and I think coming into the season, they'll see where we are. And if things are looking dire, then I think they'll start to look and try and...
Kidney dire.
Huh? This geezer. But again, it's like, who is out there, like, other than Poch? Who's out there?
Yeah, Allegri. I actually agree with that.
Would Allegri even answer the phone to Arsenal now?
Don't know. Do
you know who I personally think Arsenal should be looking to get, right? Because you need a massive
Eddie
culture
Howe
change.
would be sick.
Yeah. Do you know who I would be in for if I was Arsenal? Diego Simeone, right? He don't play Arsenal football, but listen, that time has gone. Yeah, forget all of that, Wenger. Forget all of that. Forget the Arsenal, right? Big clubs just need to win. And I think Diego Simeone would come in, he would bring players because they're going to play. It's almost like a Jose. Certain players, when they hear a Simeone, right, I'll go there for less money. And I think what he would do is he would punch up a lot of your weak players on the training ground and get them out of the club ASAP.
Yeah.
If you're weak, if you're spineless, you ain't living with Simeone.
When Wenger went, I wanted Simeone. I wanted that to. I just thought there's someone that's, you know what, we cut that tick-attack of the Arsenal football, basketball. That's no more. So now I just want to be solid. And Atletico. I think I said the other day, just in the chat, about the work that Simeone has done with Atletico, making them very relevant on very little. He spent big on a couple of people, but throughout his reign, he hasn't really spent big bucks on players. He's bought them in for dirt cheap and sold them for stupid money. And that's kind of like the Arsenal way sort of thing. We know, like, obviously, of recent years where we've paid off the stadium, we've been able to buy players and stuff like that. But we've always worked, I think before Ozil, our most expensive player was, I think it was Arshavin at like 19, 20 mil, something stupid like that. Always worked on a budget. So I did want Simeone, but like I say, is he going to leave Atletico to come to Arsenal?
No. Listen, I think the allure. Do you know what Arsenal have, right? You're one of the biggest brands in football, right? I can't say biggest clubs. You were one of the biggest clubs, but you're still one of the biggest brands. It's London, right? This is the other thing you got to remember. Like, a lot of these men, they're married, right? Their wives aren't going to want to go and move to, the arse end of Shakhtar or wherever it may be. No offense to Ukraine or Russia, but that's just the reality. And I think London being a cosmopolitan city, I reckon he would take the call. This is the thing. He's one of the highest paid managers in world football.
Birmingham have got big pools. Like, even players say it, when they're looking at if they've got a chance to go to one of the big cities with some bright lights, nice restaurants, they know that their kids are going to get a good education. They know their wives are going to be happy. There's a social atmosphere. Like, it's a big pool to when you're looking at them sort of clubs. So that's why when people drop down leagues, if QPR or Charlton are in for you as opposed to Middlesbrough or Nottingham Forest, all right, I'll go QPR because Westfield is on your doorstep. It's a lifestyle thing.
Yeah, true.
Here's the other thing though. The only question I will ask, Ash, because you'll know this maybe more than I would. I think Simeone's on equivalent about 19 million euros a year. Are Arsenal even going to pay that sort of money? Look,
is that what he's on? Yeah.
Would you?
Arsenal won't pay that. No way. Absolutely. That's why we've got Arteta. He's a cheaper option.
Well, then there's no Simeone then.
Exactly. So you think like when we've got Arteta, there was Jose was available at the time before Tottenham quickly snapped him up, but he was available. Allegri was available. I know they were toying with Brendan Rodgers, trying to like try him out of Leicester, but we just went with Arteta. That was the cheapest option, and you know he's.
You thought you were getting a bargain Pep, innit? That's what Arsenal tried to get Pep on the cheap. That's what they were trying to do, and like it's just not worked out.
But
I like to say, I don't
right now, what managers are available in world football that are going to come in, other than Poch, who's the obvious choice for most people. But if you're talking about clubs looking at winning things, he hasn't won anything as a manager. He's done fantastic with the squad he had. But if you're Arsenal, are you saying, I want someone to come in and play pretty football? Because Arteta's playing pretty football, he's just not getting any results. And
they ain't even playing pretty football, though.
I think the problem at Arsenal is the squad. For the first time ever, I looked at that squad and I went, not one of them will get in the Tottenham squad. They wouldn't even have got on our bench today.
Party.
Ash, don't let him have that. Ash, no, Ash, listen, I know you just took it out. Don't let him have that last comment was wild. None of them were getting in the squad.
That's a big push. But I'll say this. I think
Leno would get in over Joe Hart on the bench. That's it.
Huh?
Leno would get over Joe Hart. That's it.
What I say this, it's just the tactics are not working. Tactics ain't working. So it's coming from the coach. The coach is not doing the right stuff. He's not setting them up properly. I look at William. William at Chelsea, like he was got on the ball, he tried to drive up players, he tried to make things happen. At Arsenal, he's a complete shell of the player you had even last season.
Yeah, he is.
And he went for your best player. But the difference between last season and this season is like, it's shocking. Like, I watch Arsenal play, it's like, we're scared to pass the ball forward because we don't want to look like I think Arteta's got this thing about retaining the ball. And we did so much, it's just sideways. I don't want to make that forward pass and lose it, so I just keep going sideways and backwards.
It's nothing's sake, isn't it?
It's just it's just like, that set that, I don't know what you think about that. Today's game, I thought it was boring. I didn't think it was
really boring.
I don't think it was that.
Right at the start of the second half, I thought that you lot looked, hold on, you had a couple of, I think Tierney put in a nice cross and Aubameyang headed over.
Yeah, he did.
You had
but even first half, though,
if they nick one now, we could be in trouble. Other than that, I didn't think at any point you was going to break us down. I felt.
This the thing is that you got the first goal.
I was sitting there playing on my phone in the end because I was just
you got the first goal. The first goal, great goal, but it's like no one closed him down. Of course, he's going to give him time. He's going to do that. Then after that,
too far over.
It's like after that, it's like you sat back and just done the 11 men behind the ball. We just had the ball, caught us on that counter attack. And he just sat back. I personally thought it was a boring game. Like it was a boring game.
Got the job done.
But you got the job done.
3 points.
But I just think like
I'll take it all day long.
Look at Jimmy with these little sly comments, just getting these little victories, small little victories.
I'll jab and dance away, jab and dance away.
Right, I'll get onto my manager 2 seconds here. But Jim, would Tottenham? I've heard it said before. I'm going to ask you this as a fan. Would Tottenham get away with playing that way in front of a full stadium?
Yes. Right now. So this is
they would.
And this is
let
me answer you then. So this is a debate I've had with my dad for the last 5, 10, 15 years. He's always said, as a fan, he's always said, I don't want Jose, boring football, it'll be crap. I pay my money for my season ticket so that I can watch and be entertained. If I'm not being entertained, what's the point? I said, Dad, that's all well and good. You saw the 60-61 side. You saw the 70s. You've seen cups at us win cups and compete in Europe. I've never seen it as a fan, right? Until you win it, don't dictate the way in which you win it, okay? Go and win the league, go and win the Champions League, then start saying, well, I want to win it with pretty football and I want to win it scoring 50 goals a game and all the rest of it. Until you win it, don't complain about how you win it. Worry about winning it first.
No, 100% agree.
I will take a league title, a Champions League, even an FA Cup or a Europa League, yeah? If them 4 trophies, if you said to me now, in the next 5 years, Jose is going to win all of them, say the FA Cup and Europa this year, League in a couple of years and Champions League in a couple, and then he's gone, I'm happy. I've seen my club win everything. How could I not be happy? And then
he'd be the most successful manager in the history of your entire club, so how can you fault him? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're going to say, oh, but I don't like the way it was done. Honest to God, in some Spurs chats today, people were saying, Son's decision making ain't that great. Aurier should be doing better there. This one should be doing better. I'm thinking, have you seen the transformation in the players? Have you not just had a look at the league?
You look a lot more solid. The players,
yeah, they do look more solid.
They look solid. They look like they've all know what they've got to do, and they're just perfecting it to a T. But
listen, you know Jose, yeah, this is the one thing Jose makes sure his teams are, and for the whole duration of the season, robust. Yeah, and the reason that he's on that, it's not even like we're defensive, it's robust. It's if you give me an opportunity to kill you, I will. And then once you're bleeding out and there's 20 minutes to go, I ain't taking no more chances. I ain't letting you drag me into some fight so that I can then get shanked as well. Like Jose's just, he's just a methodical, he builds machines, right? And if you look at how Tottenham are playing now, defensively, everyone knows their responsibilities. They're not giving you anything cheap and easy, right? And they know most teams can't deal with that. Most teams can't go 80 minutes, but sticking to the game plan and not fucking up. Most games, generally, you see that teams get in their own way, right? They don't do their job, they get in their own way, and that's when Jose's like, go on, son, go on, Kane, do the business, job done. And Jose will happily, at the end of the game, he'll troll you as well. He'll start turning to your fans, giving it all of that, right? Because he's taken the 3 points and he's let you know, before the game, this is how I'm going to set up. During the game, this is how I'm going to play. After the game, I'm going to take the points, and then you'll see me on Instagram rubbing it in a little bit more. Listen, if you want a guy who's going to bring success, that's what he does. He's done it from day dot. Do you remember when he was at Porto, right? And he was running down the touchline after he basically bludgeoned United to death, bored them to death, and then caught him with like some smudgy goal. I think it was Coutinho or something like that.
Hold on, he won the Champions League for Porto, so who cares?
Yeah.
He won the Champions League. And I don't know if you heard the commentary today, Jamie Redknapp and Gary Neville saying, as long as Spurs keep winning, the players have bought into this. It's completely different to what they've known. They've bought into it. The fans are buying into it, right? Because we're on top. If we were sitting here and we were 6th or 7th in the table, plus the Europa League where we was okay in a couple of games, but shaky in a couple of others, Spurs have been Spurs fans doing. What are you talking about? He has dared us to believe that we could win a league this year. That is what.
Is that the title? Isn't that a slogan? Isn't that something that you put on your your stadium or something? Dare to believe.
But he's dared us to believe that there's an opportunity.
Dare to do. My God.
The Same as the SAS.
Dare to do what? Dare to do what, bro? Dare to do what, bro? Let
me do my manager. So listen, manager, I think that's gonna go.
Yeah, go on. Back to the question, Diamond.
Yeah,
it's not Arteta. Who's getting the sack first?
I believe Slaven Bilic.
Let's get back to business, right? He's
getting Slaven Bilic.
But who are West Brom then going to bring in?
I don't know, but I think reason why I think what's Sheffield United manager's name again?
Chris Wilder.
Chris Wilder. I think he has a good relationship with his board, so I think they'll kind of stick with him. Whereas Bilic, he doesn't.
Slaven Bilic have gone for hire, isn't it? You know, Slaven Bilic. The best performances I've seen from Slaven Bilic was when he had Payet, and then West Ham obviously turned their back on him, and then as in West Ham turned their back on Slaven Bilic, and then probably when he was doing the commentary thing on ITV for the World Cup in Russia. Since then, he's just seemed a bit of a broken man. I think they'll dash him out with the rubbish after the game. So yeah, you're probably right on that one. He's probably going.
I think he's gone.
Here's my take on it. For me, the person with literally the most pressure on their shoulders, and I'm going to get slated by certain people that we all know for saying this, is Ollie. And the reason I say it's Ollie is because we've all just looked, Chris Wilder should be gone. Scott Parker, with the start here to the season, could easily in another team have been gone. Yeah?
Yep.
We've seen Tony Pulis go for that, right? You talk about Bilic, but who are West Brom going to attract? Yeah, he might just do enough at the end of the season to keep them up, and then they'll look at it. Because they don't care if they finish 16th, 17th, as long as it ain't 18, 19, 20. Yeah, they don't care if it's on goal difference, as long as they stay up.
Yeah.
And you look at, there's 5 or 6 clubs down there at the minute, and we all know that after Christmas, one team absolutely tanks and falls into a dogfight for no reason. And it's going to be West Ham, Leeds, or Newcastle. All right, that's who it's going to be. One of them are going to tank.
It's Leeds, bro. I think Leeds are going to be knackered.
Right?
Knackered.
So, who else managerially? Because West Brom, I mentioned to a couple of you.
I don't know, but Eddie Howe might come in or something for the rest of the season to one of them clubs.
Who?
If Eddie Howe's agent is smart, he will tell him, don't touch any of them garbage clubs.
Yeah.
You make
No. Wait until they're kept up and take them over next year. Yeah, that's what Eddie Howe would do. But this is what I'm saying. There's only really Eddie Howe about. I can't think of anyone else. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, on the other hand, Hodges.
Where's Sam Allardyce these days as well, Sam?
Oh, Big Sam don't want to be in front of no TV camera again, bruv. He is in a bunker. He is in a bunker, bruv. Big Sam is not coming out for
God knows how long, mate.
Lads,
but he had the England job for one game. England job for one game and then got caught doing fraud. Big Sam don't need to be in front of no team. Can you imagine his first press conference? So, Sam, do you have any regrets how it ended with England? Nice. Done. No. Trust me, Big Sam don't want no.
So,
no, he don't either.
Going back to it, lads, the reason I think that is Ollie is because Poch is waiting in the wings for a big job. He ain't going to no West Brom. He ain't going to no
no chance.
He's not doing one of them jobs. He's waiting. And if we've said it before, the board didn't back Ollie properly this summer. And what I've noticed with that board is when they're not sure on a manager, they don't back. They back him as soon as they come in. They back him, and for the next 2 or 3 transfer windows, they back him. And in the minute they're not sure, they start pulling back and holding on to that little pot of money because they're already planning their next move. And I think the minute Ollie has a bad run of games, he's out, Poch is in, and they're holding on to that money. As it stands, they haven't done too badly recently. So, you know, he's got his job for another 6 weeks till the new year. But I think he's literally working 2 or 3 games at a time, Ollie. And if he has a little bad run and gets knocked out of Europe and then gets knocked out the FA Cup and suddenly starts falling away from 4th, he's gone. They're not going to wait about. So
am I right to say if they don't win their last game, they're going to Europa?
Sorry?
Yeah.
If they lose their last game, they're going to Europa.
Yeah, you're right.
Even if they draw, they could, depending on the other result.
No, they have to lose. I think if they lose,
no,
the
they
team
have
that
to
they
lose
play.
because there's 3 of them all on the same points, 9 points.
Yeah,
the team that they play will overtake them.
Old Trafford.
Oh yeah, no, that's it because they're above
that record
or something. So yeah.
Yeah, so if they lose to Leipzig, then Leipzig will go through and Man United will go.
Yeah. I think.
Look, United have no chance to win in the Champions League anyway, so it's only money in it, and that's nothing
money.
to them. So, yeah.
All right, lads. Listen, great opinions as always. Let's do this again sometime. And Ashley, for your sake, I really hope Brighton win because then you'll be 16th.
Oh no way! What really is that happening? Who they got?
We're 15th. We're fucked, bro.
If Brighton win, you're in a dogfight for relegation. If Brighton win tomorrow, you're officially in a relegation scrap.
Wow,
Jimmy, have you still got your manual for how to cope when your team's in a relegation battle? Because I know you wrote one when you had one day. There's no way you're ending the call, bruv, on that dig. Yeah, you ran it on top. No way.
You know what? It like you said, it makes it so much sweeter. Come May, when Spurs don't win a trophy, come May, oh my God.
It's end of season party, right? Because lockdown will be over, hopefully. We should do the final one at the end of the season. We should all meet up in a pub and do this.
100% do it live and direct, everyone together, and just laughing at Spurs again.
Do
you know what? Do you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but because you man are so buoyant, you're so up right now.
You want to see
if we get towards the final week of the season and you're out of the title race, you're out of the FA Cup, you're out of Europe, then there's going to be a lot of chat from a lot of men that remember these moments and be like, so what was it you were saying you was winning again? What is it? Dare to what? Dare to flop it?
Listen.
Boys, I'll be with Sam Allardyce in his bunker at that point.
I think you should.
Move over.
Boys, let's leave it there. Pleasure as always. Thanks.
Pleasure. Cheers, gents.
Ready.